Kelsey from KPIstrategist.com. We're going to dive into some visualization tools and look at the most problematic plus common data issues that I see and how we can quickly fix them. Catching and fixing these first two issues before presentation time prevents you from this scenario. Let's say you're in a meeting going through the sales numbers and the leader says, that sales number doesn't match what I thought at all. Where are the product sales? I've been there more times than I want to admit, and it took everything in me not to go like this on the table. Issue number one is that your visualization report doesn't tie to the details report. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so here we have our profit dashboard tool that's made in Google Sheets, and it is telling us that the total profit is roughly $131,000. So that is what we would be presenting on, is that number, and all the details should correlate with that number. But when I was investigating this further, let's say that I looked at the profit and loss report, it's actually showing roughly $145,000, which is a $15,000 difference and about 10% of this company's profit, which is a huge amount of offage between these two reports. And so we don't want to go into presentation day with that issue. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to fix that. Okay, so there's a couple of angles that you can use to attack this. You could either look at the months individually and figure out which month is off, or you could look at the categories. I tend to have the most success starting with the categories first, or you usually hope that you can find it there first. If not, then you could move into the months. So what I'm going to do is first compare the sales number. So down here is kind of a summary of how those previously looked at details roll up into this graph. And everyone's report's going to be different, but I'm just showing you some common concepts for how reports can work when they have these data checkpoints. So what we're going to do is look at this total sales across the whole time. So that is $240,000 compared to 254. So let's see if that is our actual offage. I'm going to copy this number and just find some space on the side and paste it here. Okay, so then that is actually our difference. So then we need to figure out, okay, what is missing? So I know that when we paste the data on a detailed level, this is where it goes. So we have sales type of sponsor, affiliate, and YouTube. And over here, we have sponsor, product, affiliate, and YouTube. So clearly this product line, yep, that's our number right there, that 14,580 total. So I'm going to highlight that. This line, actually, I'll just highlight the whole line. This is what we need to go into this report. So how to fix that? You want to get back to the source. So I feel comfortable that I've gotten back to the source because I know process-wise that we typically download this report and we paste it into this tool, which automatically populates this graph. So going back to the source, we're going to come in here and add a line and make sure that we include that data. So now it is incorporated, and then we need to make sure that it's also got a roll-up category as well. So I'm just pasting the source data name, and we want that to roll up to sales, and then we just want to carry this formula down because this is what drives how it feeds into here. And so now we have this total profit of 145 460, which should tie to the source of 145 460. So that is what I would call a beautiful report that I am happy with. Okay, so now that we have fixed the core sales data issue and our total profit lines up with the detail report, I want to talk about the second common issue I run into, which is that the report, anything on this visual report that's doing math, doesn't actually foot. So, what I mean by footing is that all the math works down the column and all the math works across, as well as with any summaries. So, in this case, this is the only time I actually use a calculator and do something manual. And this may seem like a picky thing, but it's really going to help your credibility in your presentations, knowing that you take your data and reporting seriously, because the leader is not catching something like this. So in this particular report, we don't necessarily need to add down because there's not these numbers in between. So the biggest factors are across. So when I added these total sales numbers across, I came up with 254, 634. And let's just note that here. As you can see, the summary is saying 254, 633. So how we fix that is we just add this little adjustment. You don't ever want to hard key over this because then you lose your formula. So you just want to put this little adjustment to the side of the formula so that you can always know when to take those back out when you rerun this report. So then we're going to add this up downward, and those actually subtract down to 145 461, which when I added up these profit blue bars all the way across, they actually matched this 145 461 as well. And so that's what a completely footed report looks like. I so appreciate you taking this time with me today, and I hope that you found these tips helpful. If you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for future content. I hope you take care.